Good morning. Oh, gotta watch where I'm going. I'm on my morning walk right now. I think it's like 6:35 or something. The sun's just coming up. It is so beautiful. Like, wow, it's very nice. It's so good. And the sun, it's hitting, as it's just coming up, it's hitting the water on the beach, and so it makes the beach look like all rainbow colors. It's beautiful. Yeah. So I just wanted to talk today about drug taking and spiritual awakenings, and mostly focusing on hallucinogenics and how there has been for a very long time a huge craze on having a spiritual experience through hallucinogenic drugs. And truthfully, I've taken quite a few in my life and it was definitely a part of my journey, and I abused it a lot because I didn't actually completely understand what I was doing. But the one thing that it really did make me realize is that the spiritual experience is inside of myself, and that I didn't need the drugs to have the spiritual experience. That it made me trust myself, that the experiences that I was having and I had been sort of pushing away my whole life because it's not something that the general society accepts, it allowed me to reopen that space again. You know, children are most open to it, and you can see when a child, their imagination is going wild, and they have such a deeper connection to subtle energies and things like that. So it sort of gets lost as we grow up because it's so not accepted in the general society, and we start to block it out and we focus more on the physical side of life. So being able to take a drug which allows you to have this experience, which is very intensive at the time, so it turns it into an experience that you cannot ignore anymore. It's very confronting and very opening. It sort of blasts through a lot of stuff. So in that case, hallucinogenic drugs in particular are very, very helpful for many people. We've lost touch of the rituals and where a lot of the ancestral cultures, how they would actually create the environment for you to be guided through. The internal universe that we have inside of ourselves is humongous. Like, think about how big the external universe is. So having this internal universe is just as large, and you can get very lost within it. So it is I find very important to be able to have somebody who can guide you through it, a shaman or somebody who has been working in this space in a spiritual form that is not there to just take money off you, because that's a big business now. And it's also something not to abuse. I find a lot of people, they desperately want to have these experiences, which you can have inside of yourselves. I mean, that's what yogis and gurus and everybody else has been doing by understanding how the body and mind work and putting into place certain practices which allow you to go into these spaces, but through a much more guided and not as intensive, where you're just being thrown into something and having this crazy experience, but not truly and deeply understanding the complete aspect about it. And even with a yogi and a guru, you still need a master to help you guide you through that path. So my little thing is just about, you know, recognize that with anything in life, if you abuse anything in life, you're abusing yourself, and that the spiritual experience exists within inside of yourself, and that you don't need to go looking for external things like drug taking to be able to have such extreme and amazing spiritual experience. Spirit is inside of you, and that just to recognize that and be aware of that will start opening things for you that you didn't even realize were there. And to find somebody, if you are planning to do it, that is, as I guess you could say, like a professional, and somebody who is professional in the ritual and the respect of the chemical that you're taking. As well, I'm not going against drugs because I've done a lot of them and they were a huge part of my journey, but now I don't feel a need in any way possible to do it anymore, because like the last few times that I ever did it, which was a few years ago, each time it just kept coming back to me that this was something that was already inside of myself, and I didn't need to find it externally. I needed to look within myself and to trust myself that this is real, and trust that this is something that is existing within each and every one of us. And it became much more profound for me personally.